Hello, this is week 8 of our music online. So we'll start off with our usual chant. Hello to you. Move your shoulders 1, 2. Now stamp your feet and clap to the beat. Wave your hands up high. Point your fingers to the sky. With a smile and a grin. Turn round and spin. Well done, everyone. Now our lesson has begun. Well done. So we've got a new game today. So this game is called Don't Clap This One Back. So the point of this game is that you've got to learn a rhythm and remember that rhythm and then recognize that rhythm. So it's teaching you all about learning rhythms, recognizing them, and then repeating them. So the rhythm that I want you to remember, if you've not played this with me before, is don't clap this one back. Can you clap that with me? Ready? Off we go. Don't clap this one back. Can you do it? I'll do it and then you copy. Don't clap this one back. Well done. Now, instead of saying the words when we clap it, let's just think the words. So I'm going to do it first, then you copy. So that's taught you that rhythm. Now you've got to remember that because that's the rhythm that you're not going to clap when we play the game. So I'm going to try and catch you out. So I'm going to clap a rhythm and then you're going to copy. But if I clap the rhythm, don't clap this one back, you don't copy it, or else I might catch you out. Okay, shall we see how the game goes? So remember, copy my rhythms. Did you clap it? That was don't clap this one back. You're not supposed to have clapped that one. Okay, I'm going to try and catch you out again. Did you clap it? Well done. I hope I didn't catch you out. I'm going to carry on. Did you clap it? Did I catch you out? I hope not. I'm going to carry on. Did I catch you out that time? I hope not. Okay, last time. Did I catch you? Okay, so that's a game that you can play with your friends and family. You can be the leader, you can do my job, and you can try and catch other people out as well. You can play that game with me now by pausing the video and turning it back again if you want to. Okay, we're just going to do that simple song that I've been teaching you. Ever so simple, Once a Man Fell in a Well. So I'm going to start and you're going to copy, but notice as well that I'm moving my hands. So I'm going to start. Once a man fell in a well. Splish, splash, splosh, he sounded. If he had not fallen in, he would not have drowned. Well done. Quite simple, isn't it? How many phrases were there? Remember, phrases are bits of music. There were 4. I taught 4 phrases there. Well done. Let's do it all together now. So I want you to sing it with me and do the hand movements as well. Are we ready? Are we ready? Off we go. Once a man fell in a well. Splish, splash, splosh, he sounded. If he had not fallen in, he would not have drowned. Well done. We're going to hum it this time, and I want you to feel how your voice moves. So we talked about the fact that this moves in steps. There are no jumps. Each of these notes moves up in pitch in steps. Then at the very end, it moves down in pitch. So we're going to hum it. Are we ready? Off we go. Well done. So if there was a ladder, our voice would be going up in steps up that ladder and then coming down in steps on that ladder at the very, very end. Right, can you go and find a piece of paper and a pencil and a ruler or a whiteboard? So off you go and find those for me. So just before we start writing anything down, I want us just to think about what notes are. So what a note looks like tells us how long it is, the duration. And remember, all notes have blobs, so we can make fists with our fingers to make them look like blobs. Some notes have sticks, some notes have tails, but all notes have blobs. If it doesn't have a blob, it's probably not a note. So all notes have blobs, some notes have sticks, some notes have tails. And what the note looks like tells us how long it is, what the duration is. So I want you to remember that. So I'm going to share with you now my picture here of a. So can you remember what that is called? It's called a stave. And how many lines do we have on our stave? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you draw 5 lines for me? And then on those 5 lines, can you draw a treble clef? That's a treble clef there. So if I've started talking too soon, you can actually pause the video while you're drawing that treble clef. So remember, a treble clef is like a capital letter. It comes at the beginning of every stave, like a capital letter comes at the beginning of every sentence. Now, we were talking about a ladder to do with that song just now. And this note here, remember, we know it looks like a black blob with a stick. So it's a 1 count note, it's a tar, it's a crotchet. Now, if we're moving that note around the stave, we can start it there. Then it goes into, oh, hang on a minute, I've got to grab that. It goes into the next space. This is going up our ladder. So it's going from that space then onto the next line. Remember, we started on line number 1, then went into the space number 1. Now we're on line number 2. Now we're going to, oops, I've got to just catch that. Move it on to space number 2. Now we're going to move it to line number 3. You can just watch this bit actually. Then we can move it to space number 3. Oh, I've got to catch the note. Oh, hang on a minute. It's not catching it. Let's see if I can catch it. There we go. Move it to space number 3. Now we're going to move it to line number 4. Remember, we always count from the bottom. Then we're going into space number, oh, I forgot to catch the note. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, no. There we go. Oh, I still got the wrong one. Let's see if I can catch that note. Right, let's move it up into space number 4. There we go. And also, can you remember I said that these notes could actually turn round, didn't I? Let's put it down now into space number 4. There we go. So it sticks down. It's the same note. Now we're going to put it on the top line, line number 5. So all the time I've been playing with that note is a crotchet, it's a 1-count note, but we've been changing the pitch by moving it around the stave. Depending on where it is on the stave, depends what the letter name of it is. Now, can you remember what music notes are called, what the letter names of music notes are called? There are 7 of them altogether. So we start off with A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All of our notes are named after the first 7 letters of the alphabet. If we want more notes, they're just named the same, but they just go higher. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. After G, we start with A again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. After G, we start with A again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, we've got our stave and we've got to work out where those letters are on that stave. Well, I'm going to teach you a bit of a rhyme. Let's see if I can do this now. I'm going to draw a little text box here. And I'm putting that against the bottom line. And I'm going to put a letter in it. Let's make it a fairly big letter. Let's see if that's going to be too big. No, that's not going to be too big. Now, that letter there, this bottom line is an E. Have we got that? Didn't go very well, did it? Let's see if we can do that again. Maybe I've got to make it a little bit smaller. Let's hang on a minute. Let's make it smaller than 72. Let's make it 48. Let's see if we can get that now. Nearly right. Okay. There we go. There's our letter E. So if that note, oh, I'm just going to turn it round because I want it with the stick up. If that note, if the blob of that note is on that first line there, it's called an E. E for every. E for every. Now, I'm going to copy this, I hope. And I'm going to put it against the next line. So I'm going to put that next to that line, the next line, but this time it's not an E because we've changed. It's a G, okay? So the second line is G. So if that blob is on that line there, it's a G. Every good. You could probably draw a G. I'm going to copy this now. And I'm going to do another text box. Just going to move that down next to that line. Now, this line isn't a G. This is a different letter. This is a B. Oh. Hang on a minute. I'm going to have to copy that again, aren't I? So this box, I'm going to change the letter of it. It's a B, and I'm going to put it next to that line there. So I'm going to move this note now and put it onto that line. So that line is called a B. So we've got E for every, G for good, B for boy. This is how I remember it anyway. So the first line is an E. So if the blob is on that first line, it's an E. If the blob's on the second line, let's see if I can get it. If the blob's on the second line, it's a G. If the blob's on the third line, it's a B. Every good boy. E for every, G for good, B for boy. We've just got 2 more lines to do. So this one I'm going to change now to a D. I'm going to put this against the 4th line. So if that blob is on the 4th line, it's a D. So we've got E for every, G for good, B for boy, D for does. This is how I remember it. E for every, G for good, B for boy, D for does. And our last line, let's copy this. Hang on a minute. And this is a new name now. F. I'm going to move that F next to that top line. Move the blob now, so the blob goes on the top line. It's where the blob is, tells us what the note is. So this is F for football. So this is just the rhyme that I use, but E for every, G for good, B for boy, D for does, F for football. You could make up your own mnemonic if you wanted to, but this is the one that I use. So let me move this blob around a minute. If I put that blob now onto, no, I've got to catch the blob. Here we go. If I move that blob now to that one, what's that letter name? B, because it's on the 3rd line. E for every, G for good, B for boy. Okay. If I move that now and put it there, what's the letter name of that? E. E for every. If I move that now to there, what's the letter name of that? F for football. Let's go through that rhyme again. E for every, G for good, B for boy, D for does, F for football. Okay, now 5 lines. So if the blob is on a line, we remember the rhyme. E for every, G for good, B for boy, D for does, F for football. Every good boy does football. If the blob's on the line, we remember the rhyme. Okay, we've now got to learn the spaces, haven't we? Let me see if I can put that back. Let's see if I can grab my note. And I'm going to put my note. The blob has got to go now into that space there. So we're going to do some more copying now. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to do 4 copies, but we're going to change the letters in a second. So if the note is on a line, it's the rhyme, every good boy does football. But if it's in the space, it's not a rhyme, it actually spells a word. Let's see what the word is. There's the first space. Let me see if I can move this now to the second space. I wonder if you can guess what this word is. I'm going to move that now to the third space. I'm going to move this one to the fourth space. There we go. So if it's in a space, it spells face. So the blob there is in the first space, so it's an F. If I move the blob and put it in the second space, it's an A, because that's the second letter of A, face. If I move the blob now and put it in the third space, it's a C, because that's F-A-C, the third letter of face. If I move the blob into the fourth space, it's an E, because that's the fourth letter of face. So we go up, remember when I was doing that, up the ladder with our song. Right, let's see if we've got our letters here of the alphabet. We're going to start with E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Have you noticed we've got two E's? We've got an E there on that bottom line, and we've got an E there in that space. That E is down here, and that E is a higher pitch E. It's gone up the stave. We've also got two F's, haven't we? We've got an F in that space there, but an F on that line there. Which is the lowest F? It's that one there. That's the lowest on the stave. Then that's the highest F there. Okay? Right. If it's on a line, it's the rhyme. Every good boy does football. If it's in a space, it spells face. I'll just say that once more. If it's on a line, it's the rhyme. Every good boy does football. If it's in a space, it spells face. Right, let's do a few little tests here, okay? So I'm going to move this around and you're going to work out what the letter name is. So it's where the blob is. So what's the letter name of that note there? It's in a space, it's the second space, so it's from the word face, F-A, it's A. I'm going to move the blob now. I'm going to move it down to there. It's on a line. What's the letter? E for every. It's in the rhyme. It's the first line. I'm going to move it again. Where is it now? It's in a space. So we've got to think of the word face. It's the third space up, F-A-C. So that is a C. Well done. Shall we do another one? Where's the blob now? The blob's on a line, so it's from the rhyme. Every good boy does football. It's the top line, so it's an F. Well done. So that's how we work out the letter names of our notes. Now we know where that is. That note is there now. We know that it's an F and it's a one count note. So it's a one count note because what it looks like tells us how long the note is. A black blob with a stick is a one count note, it's a crotchet. Where it is, where that blob is, it's on that top line, so it's an F. Okay, well done. I'm going to stop sharing that screen now. There's quite a lot to remember there, wasn't there? So we'll probably go through a lot of that again. Right, to finish off our lesson today, we're going to go through our tune that we were learning last week. So I'm just going to share a screen with you, I hope. So let's see what we've got here. Just going to minimize that. And let's see if we can find our tune. Here we go. This is the tune that we're going to go through. So this is called Mike Oliver's Tank Top. It's a funny title, isn't it? So have a look at these notes here. I told you before that what the note looks like tells you how long the note is. So if we look at that note there, where my cursor's wobbling, that's a semibreve, and that's how many counts long? It's 4 counts long. Well done. It's a white blob, so it's 4 counts long. How many counts long is this one here? The white blob with a stick. It's 2 counts long. It's a minim. Well done. Then we've got our crotchets. We know about our crotchets, don't we? So just to remind you that a treble clef is at the beginning of every stave of music. Then we've got our time signature, our 4/4. It's the top number that we're interested in. That is our magic number. It tells us how many counts everything adds up to in a bar. A bar is that box there, and there's our bar line. That's the end of the box. Okay, I'm just going to leave you with this just for a second. In fact, what you could do is you could pause the video and just practice through that yourself to see if you can remember the rhythm of how this goes. That's the second page. That's how it finishes. Okay. Let's have a go at clapping this rhythm together, or if you've got a percussion instrument, you can use that as well. I've actually got a tambourine here. I brought that with me today, so that when I get to anything that's 2 counts long, I'm going to make it go a bit longer, and if it's 4 counts long, even longer still. So I'm going to play my tambourine with you today. So this is the rhythm of this first page. Are you ready? Off we go now. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ta. Next line. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ta. Next line. Ta, sorry. Ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta. I've got to put this down and go on to the next page. Sorry, I've just stopped there, haven't I? Let's do this last line. Ready and go now. Ti ti ta ta, ti ti ta ta, ta 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 ta. Well done. How do we know that the piece of music has finished? We know because we've got a double bar line. There are 2 lines together there. A double bar line is a musical full stop. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. I'm just going to make it so that we can see 2 screens, or we can see that, but I want to get the music up for you as well. Let me move this over here. Oh, I've lost the music. Let me get that back. Okay, I'm going to find the music for us. And then we can join in with the accompaniment. well done. How did you manage? Was it a little bit awkward? Shall we have another go? Let's play that again. Are we ready? I was a bit slow there, wasn't I, changing the page? Well, I wonder whether we can actually play that now a little bit quicker. Let me see if I can find an accompaniment where it goes faster. How did that go? Was that too fast? Do you want to have another go? Let's have one more go before we finish. Well done. I'm sorry, I was a bit slow again, changing that page, wasn't I? I'm just going to stop sharing now. Okay, so today we've learned quite a lot. We've been learning rhythms, we've been remembering rhythms, but we've also been thinking about how we use our grown-up notes so that we know that what a note looks like tells us how long the note is, the duration of it. But where the blob is on the stave tells us the letter name of the note. So we know that notes are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but where they are on the dot, on the lines and the spaces tells us which one of those letters it is. So remember, if the line is on, if the note, I should say, is on a line, if the blob is on a line, we remember the rhyme. The rhyme is every good boy does football. E for every, G for good, B for boy, D for does, F for football. If the blob is in a space, starting from the bottom, it spells face. So if it's in the first space, it's an F. If it's in the second space, it's an A. If it's in the third space, it's a C. If it's in the fourth space, it's an E. And remember, we always go up the ladder, which is where we did our song, Once a Man Fell in a Well. We were going up the ladder. So what the note looks like tells us how long it is. Where the blob is tells us which note we're going to play. Okay, that's a lot to remember. We'll do a bit more about that again next time. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.